All right, potties, you're making a difference because of you and the people that listen to the show on Way FM terrestrially, if you want to call it that. We have sent over 47,000 meals to the people that are struggling in Ukraine after they've been displaced because of the war. That is pretty stinking amazing. And I love the fact that you're getting to partner with us in ministry right now in a very tangible way. You're not only helping feed people, but you're also making sure that they get the gospel as well. So thank you so much. But sadly, as the war stretches on, the need is still there and becoming greater. Here's the great news, though. It only takes 25 cents to send one meal. So for about the cost of a dinner out for you and your family, you could make sure that a couple hundred meals are sent to Ukrainian refugee families. Can you imagine what a relief that is for moms who have no idea how they're going to feed their kids from day to day? This is truly ministering to the orphans and widows, like the Bible says in James. And we'd love to keep that going and send another 25,000 meals to Ukraine in just the next couple weeks. I'm in. I'll never ask you to do something I'm not willing to do myself. So if you want to help out, just text the word Wally to 91999. And again, thank you so much for even considering this. And let's make a difference. Let's do something huge today. Again, text the word Wally to 91999. Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the stuff we didn't get to during the course of the show today. We're getting ever so close to a 3-day weekend, which I'm really excited about. And then next week, we'll still do Aftercast, but Betty Rock will be gone and Gavin will be gone. But I'll still be here. So you're stuck
just for
with
one
me.
day each.
You're stuck with
next
me.
week.
Yeah.
What? No.
You're going to be gone.
I'm going to be gone, on the 5th.
Yeah.
And you're going to do everything here on your own? With
Sure.
Gavin being gone?
Yeah.
You said you would never do that.
No.
Okay, so next week, you're going to be gone on Tuesday. I will be here on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We'll do it just us.
Yeah.
And then on
Then
Friday,
you and me on Friday,
and then
he's
I'm
out.
gone on Friday. You two will be here. So there'll be
Yeah.
3 of us for 2 days.
I see.
2 of us for 2 days.
Right.
I'm confused.
You know what we know what you mean.
People will be here.
I'll be here.
At least 2 will always
Yes,
be here.
exactly. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do the show by myself. If you guys,
That's
for
what I was going to say.
whatever, were both out for some reason, like one of you had vacation and the other one got sick. That happened one time. I think Gavin was out and Betty wasn't feeling good. And I'm like, girl, I know you don't feel good, but I need you. I need you to show up. And
I
you
don't
did.
remember that.
Yeah. Because you were like, the day before, you're like, I'm not feeling so good today. And I'm like, well, Gavin's going to be gone and I need you to be here.
I should have set boundaries.
And you showed up. No, you showed up. You did the right thing. You
I should have respected myself and my body and my health.
No, do not respect
Just
any of
because
that
you
stuff.
don't have respect for your own health doesn't mean I shouldn't.
I know. No one should, actually.
Whoa.
Get the job done. That's what you do. Speaking of get the job done, U.S. health officials said on Wednesday that they've agreed to purchase another 105 million doses of Pfizer's COVID-19 shot. And they're gearing up for a fall booster campaign. So look for more ads on that stuff. $3.2 billion spent on this. And it's interesting to me. And I know the government has to think bigger picture than we do. They've got to think through everything and long term and stuff like that. But I got to tell you, this seems like a giant waste of money when most people are who get COVID are not getting it seriously, and it's the world feels done with it, Mm-hmm. But I know they have to plan, and so maybe the fact that shots enable them to not enact crazy things like all the shutdowns again. Maybe that's a good thing to keep us going towards normalcy. But I was driving by a sports field the other day, and the Little League teams were playing, and everyone's out there just jammed in there playing, no masks anywhere. Mm-hmm. I was on a cruise. I was in foreign countries, no masks anywhere, jammed in there, didn't get it. And I just think everyone was like, okay, this is great. I know you care, but we're all moving on from this. It feels like late, but maybe not. Maybe we have a resurgence. I don't know. But I just don't even think about it anymore.
I don't either.
This is not a thing.
I don't feel like it's very rare that I see someone now in a mask.
I do get a weird thing that happens every once in a while, and I'm wondering if it's from the vaccine and the boosters and stuff that I got, where I will all of a sudden get like really hot, almost like I'm running a fever, but it's all like internally. and like if you put your hand on my head, I don't feel hot at all. If I take a temperature, I don't feel hot at all. Or I don't have a temperature, but I feel inside like I'm really hot, or like, oh my gosh, this is the starting of getting sick.
Menopause?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's what it feels like. I caught my wife's menopause. How is that possible? Now I have menopause.
You have hot flashes.
I know, but that's what it feels. That's probably what she describes. But like I have that too, sympathetically, I guess.
Well, maybe have you looked at the side effects of the medications that you take?
No, I never think about that.
You should do that.
Cow in a field. Yeah.
I know, but you should do that because that happened to my mom recently. Not the hot flashes, but she was having side effects from medication she was taking, and Dad was like, I wonder if it's that new medication. And it was. So she stopped it. I never thought
of that. Never in a million years would have thought of that. I'm so glad that you're so paranoid medically. That helps me out.
How did you turn that into a negative? I was trying to help you.
No, you are. And I said, thank you.
Are you paranoid?
She's paranoid medically.
Are you like, would you say that you are?
Let me ask you a question before I answer your question. Yes. Would you take paranoid as a negative or a positive?
I take it as a unnecessary term.
Okay, you're prepared. Your preparedness is what I meant to say, not paranoid.
Okay.
Your health concerns that you have, like paid off for me there. So thank you.
Although him saying
next
paranoid
time you're on your own
might be like that you're just a normal person compared to his complete lack of care. So maybe you're not paranoid. You're just normal. You are just normal.
I am normal. Thank you, Gavin.
What
was your question?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what was it again?
Are you would you describe yourself as paranoid? Or do you just feel like you pay attention?
I pay attention.
I think you've gotten better, honestly. I think there was a time where you were uber concerned about health and almost to the point of kind of being not a hypochondriac, but you definitely were more verbal about it and fearful of it. And you really do feel different than you did back then. What?
Thank you.
I'm serious.
Well, yeah, because you had to say that after you called me paranoid.
No, I mean that. No, in all seriousness, I do mean that. Like, you don't seem as fearful about health things. Like, my daughter is fearful.
Pull me down just to
build you back up. That's right. My daughter.
Let me tell you how paranoid you are. Now let me bring. And I'm being serious.
I know. I'm like a Sour Patch Kid.
No, you're gaslighting.
No. Because I think for sometimes. It was almost, it got really serious for you, almost like kind of out of control. I think that was a bad time for you, but then you reined it back in, and it doesn't seem like it's the forefront of your mind anymore. Like before, it seemed to be a very forefront thing and a fear thing, and I don't see that at all in you actually anymore.
It's good.
Yeah, that is good. Making progress. So anyway, do you spend much time on WebMD anymore?
No.
That's good. See, that's good. That's good. You used to be there a lot. I will tell you this though, that some of your things rubbed off on me though, because now when I like don't feel good or something, I'm like, oh, it's probably the cancer. Like I'm just, I go to the nth degree where I'm like, I know I've got skin cancer. Darn it, this lump.
Well, I do the same thing where I'll like feel something in my back and I'm like, oh, kidney stone.
Yeah,
there it is.
I have spine cancer. Like I instantly go to the worst case scenario.
Would you call that paranoid?
Oh, it's not healthy. Absolutely. And so I'm like, but then I rein my mind back in and go, it's probably nothing, and so then I don't go to the doctor. But we were talking about this the other day. I was thinking about it, I'm like, man, it's been 2 years since I've like really been sick even. Because I think it's partly because, you're like, okay, I can't get sick. I don't want anyone to think I have COVID. I don't want to get COVID like during that time. And you were being more precautious. And then now, even 2.5 years later, like I can't remember being sick in the last 2.5 years other than like it might start off as a sniffle or like something like that. But then it's like a day and then it was gone. Like I can't remember. Like, Betty, you've had headaches and stuff, but I don't think you've been sick, have you? Like a cold?
No, I got like a stomach bug or something.
Yeah, that's not even like close to...
And then I've had like allergies, but that's it.
Yeah, it's weird. And I'm curious, I guess maybe because of all the precautions everyone individually was taking, and then, it kind of helped, long term and stuff like that. But so anyway, look for some more shots.
So about shots, Elmo actually recently, yes, Elmo from Sesame Street got his COVID vaccine.
Oh, he did? He seems late to the party. Again, Elmo, I know kids
I agree.
just recently got shots.
Well, and you say late to the party, but I think the CDC or whatever said that it's okay to vaccinate children under 5.
I don't know how old Elmo is supposed to be.
I'm not sure either. But there is a PSA that was released, and it is Elmo getting his COVID vaccine, and his dad is helping him through it.
Elmo getting vaccinated is the best way to keep himself, our friends, neighbors, and everyone else healthy and enjoying the things they love.
There was a little pinch, but it was okay. Elmo loves you, Daddy.
Oh, that's so sweet.
He's a dad.
I would have loved, I didn't know that either. I would have loved to have heard Elmo be like, okay, Elmo's good. Ow! You son of a gun! Like he just loses his mind when he gets a shot.
Well, I'll tell you somebody that did lose their mind is Ted Cruz. So when he saw the PSA, he went to Twitter and he said, thanks, Sesame Street, for saying parents are allowed to have questions. You then have Elmo aggressively advocate for vaccinating children under 5, but you cite 0 scientific evidence for this.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, everybody's so upset all the time about everything anymore. I get Cruz's opposition because as I hear it and you hear it play out, you're like, okay, you're ticking off each of the boxes of the narrative and, you know, and you're pushing for the company line, you know, kind of thing. Like you see it in there. And so like, I get it. So if you're anti-vax, you're going to be like, well, that stinks. That's not good. You know, so I totally understand that. But a lot of people are pro-vax. And so, I mean, I guess it's a good thing that kids have this or whatever. I'm just so tired of all of the arguments over all of this stuff, man. If you want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. If you don't, you know. But I think that's where it is. It's not like Elmo's going to take care of himself and his community and everybody, you know, like that kind of the towing that line too. It's like, all right.
And that's the problem is vaccinations. You can say either get vaccinated or don't. I don't care. But the problem is that one side says the problem will affect both sides.
Other people, right.
And so if you don't,
curious,
it looks like you don't care.
I'm curious what my wife would have done with Haley being young. Like if Haley had been 8 and was able to get a vaccine earlier. I don't know that she would have gotten her vaccinated. Like my wife wasn't going to either. And then when Haley got vaccinated, my wife did. And she was like...
She wanted Haley to be the guinea pig.
No, yeah. You feel okay? Okay, great. No, it was weird. Like she felt like she wanted to go through it with her, I guess, or was like, you know, experience it with her, or I don't know. She just had a mom kind of moment on it and went and got vaccinated after that. But she wasn't happy about it actually because she was kind of against it for a long time, you know, and I get that. Again, everybody has, that was the weird thing about COVID is people inside of families had different tolerances for it, you know, and then everyone got so angry about it. Instead of just letting each other be who they are and do what they do, everyone felt you have to believe like we do. And if you didn't, well, you're killing people. Like, no, that's actually not true, you know. So anyway, let me see. And finally, still on the COVID thing, Dr. Fauci, I guess, had COVID, and which is crazy, is the leading COVID guy.
Which I had known that he had gotten COVID.
I had not seen
the
that.
news hit like maybe a month ago.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that. For some reason, I just missed that. But the reason it was back in the news today is because he took that antiviral Paxlovid, and there's a thing in there called Paxlovid rebound that people who take it sometimes, like you test and you're negative, but then all of a sudden it comes back around and you end up testing positive again like a week later and you feel worse. And that was what happened to him is he went through the rebound and said he actually felt worse than he did before he took the medicine. You're like, oh, well, okay, well, that's weird. I know, like, but maybe that will give him some empathy because he's a guy that was making and still is helping affect the rules and regulations and laws with all this. Is like maybe it gives him a little bit of empathy for it for other people that were like, yeah, I really don't want this, you know. So anyway, there you go. What do you got for a list of these, Lady Rock?
I have a list of rockers who are actually going by their middle names. You may have thought it was their first name, but it ends up being it's their middle name.
Okay, so who do you have?
First one is Iron Maiden singer Bruce Dickinson.
Bruce Dickinson? Okay, because Nico McBrain was the drummer, and I don't think that McBrain is really his last name, but
that
Bruce
I don't know.
Dickinson?
Bruce is his middle name. His first name is Paul.
Paul Dickinson.
Paul Bruce Dickinson.
Oh, okay. Boy, they were a band that was super controversial back in the day too, because they had this mascot Eddie who was like a skeleton and it was like all like death and stuff. But they actually had a couple songs that were if you looked into them, like they were like stories of history. Like Run to the Hills was about the American Indians having their land taken. You're like, oh, it's kind of a cool little, kind of like Hamilton did for Jefferson and learning about him, or Hamilton did for Jefferson. Hamilton did for Hamilton, learning about Hamilton. It was kind of like music. Actually, I think can do that too.
Twisted Sister.
Oh, come on with it now. Okay, now Dee Snider's the lead singer of Twisted Sister.
Dee is his middle name.
Is his first name like Rick?
Rick D. Snider?
Yeah.
No. It's Daniel.
Daniel Snyder? Yeah, D is way better than Daniel, I think. For a rock star name?
To me, D, it's D-E-E.
Yeah, Dee Snider.
That looks like a girl's name.
I know, but it just sounds cooler than Daniel Snyder. For sure.
And then Pink Floyd bassist and singer Roger Waters.
Oh.
His middle name is Roger.
Roger.
What do you think his first name is?
William Roger Waters.
That's a good guess. Gavin?
Todd
Roger Waters. His actual first name is George Roger Waters.
George Waters would have been good, I feel like.
Yeah, that could work too.
George is more regal than Roger.
Yeah. And I think they're a British band, right? I never knew much about Pink Floyd. Like I knew their song "The Wall," but I was not like a Pink Floyd fan.
I see a lot of Pink Floyd shirts. Like I see a lot of people who rock the Pink
teeny
Floyd
boppers, and then they don't even know who it is.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, because they had like those weird like space-looking images on a lot of their shirts and the triangles and stuff. So graphically, like people like what it looks like, even if they've never heard the music.
Yep.
Well, there you go. You got some birthdays for me?
I do. I have one. Abigail wants to wish her brother-in-law, Andrew, a happy birthday, saying he's a great younger brother to my husband and is also known as Fire Andrew for his awesome job as a local firefighter.
Oh, that's
nice.
Cool. Andrew's so fire.
Fire Andrew.
Question. Best piece of advice you can give for traveling on an airplane this summer?
Carry on. Take your clothes on your carry on.
I was going to say.
That's going to be mine.
Simplifies everything.
We're planning a trip to go see my daughter for like 4 days around my birthday in August. And I've told my wife, I know we're flying a different airline and it's flying direct. So the odds of your bag getting there is pretty good. But I'm like, I think I'm going to pack the vast majority of my clothes in a carry-on. Because the other thing, too, about carry-ons now, like if you get to the gate, like if it goes through security, then a lot of times they'll gate check it for you because of the overhead bin space. And you just pick it up right at the gate. So it's going to get on the plane and get off the plane and you don't even have to worry about it. So I might bring a pretty substantial sized carry-on so they'll gate check it for free. But then Southwest, I'm flying Southwest, they check bags for free anyway, which is great of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
We looked at airfare the other day. Marty was just kind of, okay. So Marty, the other day she was looking at it just for fun. Like, hey, what if we went to Hawaii? We haven't been there a lot of time. What if we went there? Let me look at the airfare. And she does the airfare, and the airfare was $1,700 each. To fly to Hawaii. Is that not insane?
How about no?
Yeah, how about no? I'm not doing that. That's crazy. And like that's more than flying to Europe, and it was just, I know the distance is actually probably pretty close from here, but it was just crazy how much money that was. And then she started trying to figure it out. She's like, okay, if we fly to California and we stay one day and then the next day get on a different airline and fly, she had it so we both could fly, and we did the same thing on the way back. We both could fly for $800.
Oh.
Like each. Like, so
much better.
For less than one person, but you have to take a day on either side and like switch airlines and fly the next airline the next day. But anyway, what do you say, Rock?
I don't know. I really don't know what my advice would be.
You don't fly a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I flew.
Did you fly to California earlier this year?
Yeah.
It's the last time you flew.
Yeah, I did.
That was April.
Was it April? Feels like forever ago.
Yeah, that was April. That was the last trip.
That was April?
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. No advice, though?
I can't think of anything. No. I don't know. No. You?
I haven't flown for. Well, no, I guess I flew just like last month for my brother's graduation. Oh man, I mean, pack a good snack. I've been realizing that I get hungry on a plane, and I just don't care for the pretzels.
What do you do? I could see you in a pinch when you're in an airplane and it's a long flight.
Hold it.
And there's a lot of turbulence. Can you make it?
I don't drink much beforehand.
That's what my wife does too.
I dehydrate for the day of flight. If I need a little bit of coffee, I get one of their small cups on the plane maybe, but I just sort of dehydrate and then make up for it when I land. Like I don't like risking the getting up from your scooting out in the middle and then flying, and I don't want to, lose my balance while, in action.
I always hate that the time it seems to hit you that you actually need to go. For me, like the times I'm like, I can usually get through anything, but there's been a couple of times where I'm like, oh wow, I really need to go, and you go to get up and then you bing, the captain has turned on the seatbelt sign, go, and like you can't go, and then you're landing, and then that always takes a lot longer, and so then like you're at the end of your rope by the end of this thing. By the time you get off the plane, I've had that happen a couple of times. That's not fun ever. Well, with that, I think we're going to end our Aftercast today, and thanks for being a potty.